time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's over live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners of professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, this is Wednesdays with Mitch, Big Al McMordie, Chris Ruffolo, Millz Young with us, Wayne Scott, Ninos, and Zawacky. Dana Lang will sign in bottom of the hour, so we got a full show for you tonight. Here's how they'll line up. We got Ruffolo, Mitch, McMordie, Scott, Ninos, Zawacky, Lane, Young, and then I will close this one out. All right, we got 4 on the board from the NHL for tonight, 3 NBA playoff games, some game 2s, and of course, handful of Major League Baseball. So let's get this show on the road here. Let's go and welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Hope you guys catch the morning show every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You got Mitch, of course, with Chris and Zawacky. So we'll bring in Chris right now, ready to roll with some baseball here to start the show off. I think we're ready with Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, like you said, loving this time of year. So much that I got a bug in my throat. Hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs. The hockey playoffs have dominated the mood of the morning show, especially today. But like you said, as much as I love my hockey, when I see a good baseball play, I can't pass on it.
That's right. Tonight you're going to be looking here at this one between the Astros and Blue Jays here. We see that you're going to be looking at the total in this one.
Yeah, I will be. And Tony, it wouldn't be a normal drive-through if I didn't at least give out one Toronto team once in a while. And the Toronto Blue Jays tonight sending out Jose Barrios. And the problem with Barrios is that, basically going back to, when Toronto first acquired him, the problem for Barrios is that he pitches well at home, doesn't translate on the road. Last year had an ERA well up over 6 on the road, had a 4.24 ERA at home. But when he went out on the road, it ballooned. It's been the same case this season. He's coming off of his first win of the season. But Barrios, again, got that win at home. In 2 road starts this year, an 11.17 ERA, just not going to cut it. Now, Luis Garcia, this is a pitcher that won 11 games at home last year, but had a 4.46 ERA in those home starts at home this year. 0-2, a 7.20 ERA, and the lone time that Garcia faced the Blue Jays at home, gave up 5 runs over, I believe, 6 innings of work. Just not a pitching matchup that I'm all that confident in to be able to keep runs off of the board in this one. I'm looking at the over 9 in this one. I think we easily get into double digits.
All right, Chris here on over the total here of 9 runs here in this one here. Of course, they had 2 pitchers here with shaky form. Of course, the Blue Jays, one of the top offensive teams here in the league. And we're also seeing Houston, a team that was an under team last year, put some runs up on the board and giving them up.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, it's not just when they put them up, they can't keep the runs off the board themselves. I mean, they beat up on Toronto 9-2 on Monday. They gave up 9 runs to the Rangers on Sunday, put up 8 the game before. So we're seeing inconsistent performances. Normally in these Astros games, at least one team is putting up some runs in Toronto. Well, like I said, when Jose Barrios is on the mound, you can usually count for some runs on the board one way or another there as well. And 2 teams I think can hit righties fairly well, especially the Blue Jays, who are tearing the cover off the ball and really crushing right-handed pitching this year. And so I think we got some runs coming in this one.
All right, we got Chris here. Astros, Blue Jays over total of 9. This one now a start time here up. 7 Eastern Time. All right, Chris, let's go over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we got, you're seeing great results in the NHL here from Chris. We got 4 on the board here from the NHL. We got some game 2s ready to start here, 2 of them at the top of the hour, and then we got the late night games as well. Of course, 3 on the board from the NBA, handful from Major League Baseball. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I had pretty much all my baseball go off the board this afternoon, but I still got an NHL hat trick on the board tonight. My 3 favorite plays from the NHL. And great time to hop on long term. Like you said, we're in the midst of the playoff action, in the early going in MLB, so tons of action. Best value at Pick Dogs Premium.
You guys get on board with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. Long-term pass is the way to go here with playoff times. That 1-month pass will get you the first 2 rounds of the NHL and NBA playoffs. Pick is a promo code to save 15% off. All right, Chris, as always, great having a show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But no, we can catch on the morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Time with Mitch and Rod. Of course, this time of the year, the Puck Dogs. This is Stanley Cup playoff time.
Yeah, exactly, Tony. Playoff hockey is what we live for. Some of our favorite hockey games of the year. Some of the best hockey that you'll see pretty much all season. So Rod and I having a great time doing those videos and just loving all the videos we're doing over at Pick Dogs. Make sure you're subscribed, get those notifications for when those videos drop.
You got it. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when they drop those videos, you get them right away to get the best numbers. All right, Chris, have a great week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
You got it. Chris Ruffolo here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue on. Up next, well, it's Wednesdays. It's time for Mitch. Bring him in. You catch him in the mornings every day here on with the morning show, and also lots going on with the video series with the that Nerf feed. Of course, is 7 picks in 5 minutes. Mitch, what's happening?
Just everything is happening. We're just constantly taking it to the next level here at Pick Dogs. We decided to start spraying out some new content, and we also have some more new videos coming out as well. You know, a lot of guys on our cappers, a lot of guys that are on the show today, they keep telling me they want to do videos, they want to do this or whatever. And, you know, we don't prohibit anyone from doing videos as long as it's quality and up to the standards of what we do at Pick Dogs. So, you know, we have a way that we do things, and, you know, sometimes it takes a couple cracks to get it right. We're a little bit past the just throw it up stage. So, you know, we're excited about what we're doing. We've added a few new handicappers. I've mentioned on the show that it was something that was definitely a possibility. I asked people if they were interested to reach out. Didn't get a lot of response, but we picked up a couple. We picked up one real vet, you know, a veteran, and we picked up another guy who's kind of like a newcomer, you know, who has handicapper experience. He's a newcomer, but he's hit the ground running, and that's Nick Mencken. And you know, Mike Davis is really, you know, he's a veteran, and he's, you know, he hates docs as much as I do, so I love that. So that's all he had to say to me. Everyone knows that.
All right, excellent. All right, Mitch, we go tonight.
Fade the alcoholics.
There you go. No doubt about that. Here we go tonight on TNT, 7:30 Eastern Time. It's Game 2 of the series, Grizzlies and Lakers. We see a pick 'em here, 225.5.
Well, this is another one of those ones where LeBron James is involved, and we know that throughout his career, while he doesn't have all the NBA Finals rings, he certainly has a few of those too. But where he has thrived is in these games, these early round playoff games where he is straight money. Rarely hear about LeBron James' teams taking an early exit from the playoffs, especially in the last decade or so. Maybe when he was a rookie or something, you know, and was turning around the Cavs. But the thing is that this Lakers team actually has better depth than some of the other Lakers teams that we've seen, and some better frontline talent with D'Angelo Russell, with Reeves, with Hachimura. You know, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Really a little less pressure on those guys. And I think the less pressure that we see on them, the better that they're playing. It's kind of like they're doing their thing, but it's not like they're have to force anything. And I think with those other guys, I think it just means Memphis is really in big trouble. We saw Lakers dominate in Game 1. It wasn't a close game, and I don't think this one's going to be any closer either. I think a lot of people believe that the Lakers have already taken care of their business they wanted to take care of, stealing the home court advantage in this series. But trust me, these guys want a couple of days off. If they can get a couple of days off before the next series, that's going to be even more valuable to them. And I think that that's what they're going to go for here. I don't see any reason not to take the Lakers here, especially with an outpouring of people on our YouTube comments saying they're fading the public and taking the Grizzlies. It's like, you know, like you are the public, buddy. You know, it's like, got news for you. You know, you're in my YouTube comments. You are the public. So anyways, that's what we're seeing. And it's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right, Mitch here on the Lakers. Pick 'em here over the Grizzlies. Of course, the word here with Morant latest is still questionable. Mitch, he will be a game time decision, but I think even a bigger injury, which I think we talked about it some, but I think you can see here they really missed that rim protector. You know, that Steven Adams, when you've got a guy like Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis around the hole, LeBron can beat his man to the hole. They need that big guy to protect that rim.
Yeah, they've got no answers, you know. When Hachimura is 11-13, Reeves to 8-13, it's like, you know, Anthony Davis 10-17. It's like you need someone there, and they've got no answers whatsoever. And, you know, half of John Morant isn't going to get it done against LeBron in the playoffs. You know, it just doesn't. We know that, you know, I don't say that LeBron takes days off or whatever. He does take days off, right, for rest and all that other stuff. But the thing is, he never takes playoff games off, and this guy, this is what he lives for. So I expect them to come out guns blazing.
All right, Mitch here on the Lakers. Pick 'em here against the Grizzlies. This one, he'll have a start time here.
I'm fading the people that are fading the public.
There you go.
in the YouTube comments.
There you go. Fading the public there. And, of course, the Lakers here at a pick 'em. All right, Mitch. We always like to talk with Mitch a little bit about baseball here. We had a final. We saw Levi Stout on the mound tonight. Not very good here this afternoon. 8-0 Rays.
Oh man, I haven't seen. It was a combination. Maybe he was drinking too much stout before the game. He got absolutely hammered by the Rays bats. We're seeing some really bad teams out there, and the Reds really aren't one of those. But they just don't have the depth that some of the other teams have.
Giants and Marlins extra innings. Giants salvage one here, 5-2.
Yeah, the Marlins played. Trevor Rogers pitched well. The Marlins had their chances. They just did not convert on them, and that pretty much was the story of the game. The Giants are a good team. They head back home tomorrow, and they do play on that short card.
The Guardians and Tigers. Guardians, after that embarrassment last night, come in and win 3-2.
Rough series here for the Guardians. The expectations were a lot higher for them for this series, but the Tigers maybe not that bad as a lot of people feel they are. Maybe we'll get some value on them going forward.
Diamondbacks and Cardinals. Who was on the mound today? Mad Bum. Cardinals 14-5.
Yeah, Ron Romanelli's $19 home run play, or whatever he calls it, his rundown play, best bet was the over in that game. It was over in the fourth inning. It was 9.5, 10. It went 11 in the fourth inning of that game. So any number that you had, it was an over. The wind blowing out with, I tell you what, that Woodford gave up some rockets too. So while Mad Bum wasn't good, Woodford wasn't all that great either.
Rangers and Royals. Boy, this was a short line on Texas here. Keller, I don't know. Martin Perez, 12-3. They pound the Royals.
Looked like one of those somebody knows something lines, but somebody knew nothing, man. They got absolutely crushed on that one. As a matter of fact, I doubled down and reverse run line the Rangers in that game, and I gave out the Rangers as a premium pick so I can say that I had it.
Yeah, I did too. That was a 19 for me. Phillies and White Sox. Phillies 5-2 over Chicago.
A little disappointing for the White Sox. I felt that they battled pretty well in that game. They certainly had their chances, but they got taken deep by the Phillies bats, and that was the end of that story.
Mets and Dodgers. Mets to come back and get to the Dodgers pen 5-3.
Well, we'll have to see what happens to Max Scherzer after today's action. He was booted from the game in the fourth inning. Couple glove checks and all that stuff. Really, they suspected that he had the sticky stuff going, but he claimed it was rosin. We'll have to see exactly what happens. Most of those cases, they take the stuff from them and keep it as evidence for whatever goes on. So we'll have to see exactly what happens with Scherzer here. But I believe that it wouldn't have mattered. It was like, this is not a good Dodgers team, and they were in a bad spot. The Mets aren't hitting the ball, but they're hitting enough.
Hitting enough and got to the Dodgers pen. Pirates and Rockies. Boy, Gomber, what a horrible performance. 9 runs given up in those first 2 innings. 14-3 the final.
He had given up 5 runs in each of his prior outings this season, and then he gave up 5 in the first inning of this one. I had the over, so I was pretty excited about it.
Cubs and Athletics, this kid Morris came in. I never seen somebody get so excited over a minor league start before in my life. And it wasn't his fault. He left. The game was not in question. It was the bullpen that really coughed this one up so far. 10-2 Cubs over Athletics.
Yeah, the A's really are that bad, and normally they're a team that we found value on over the years, but no value on them this year. This is a team that looks lost, and I think they need to make a decision as to where they're going to be. And I think once they make that decision and they do go to Vegas, I think we'll see a different type of organization from the A's. Generally, in the past, it's like they've been able to piece it together and kind of they've been doing what the Rays are doing for a long time. But without that overall direction, this team is really, really bad. I mean, they have ground balls hit to guys 2 feet away from the base and can't get the runner out. That's what happened in that Cubs game to open up the door. Floodgates. It was a 2-2 game when that play happened.
All right, Brewers and Mariners here, still bottom of the ninth here, runner on second here. Tellez with a big hit to make it 5-2, Brewers on top.
Yeah, the Brewers are being so underestimated this season. They have been just a cash machine, and the books want to, and the other bettors want to keep giving me money on the Milwaukee Brewers. I will gladly accept. They are quietly, only 1 game worse than the Atlanta Braves as far as the loss column goes. Yet on the Braves, you're paying minus 185 and upwards, minus 200s. And on the Milwaukee Brewers, you're getting plus money every single night. So, mean, this is not that hard. Baseball is a value game.
All right, Hader looking to close it out. Padres 1-0, but with a runner on base here for Atlanta.
Yeah, the Braves have been tough, but to me, the Braves are always the second half of the season team. We'll have to see how it all works out for them when all is said and done. But, generally, for me, the Braves, I kind of avoid them the first half of the year. But this year, they've been really, really strong. I think if they lose this game, they'll have the same record as the Brewers.
There you go. That was our rundown here from the afternoon action. A lot of prime time still coming. Mitch, before I let you go, what's happening over at Pick Dogs?
Well, like I said, we've got a few new video segments that we just started, and we don't really like push our stuff like a lot of the other people do and promote it on Twitter and everything like that. We probably will do a little bit of that, but we have Mike Davis doing a prize pick segment. We'll probably have Mike doing other videos as well. He's really good and different type of personality than what we have at Pick Dog, so it's always good to add something else. We have Millz, who we know from the drive-thru and we know from his MMA stuff. And Millz has been bugging me to do a prop video forever. And every time he sends it over, I always criticize it and say, well, I think you're going to be great at it, but you kind of got to do it the way that I do it. So it's like he finally got it rolling, and I think you guys will see the first one out there today. It's out there on our YouTube channel, and it's for a first video, for first one, it's outstanding. For a first. It has a lot of upside and a lot of work to go, and we're going to also have Millz be doing an MMA video, like a regular, not a live show, but a regular video for MMA as well. But this is one that's like, if this was number one, you can only imagine what we're going to be talking about in a couple weeks. I mean, these are off the chain. They're so good.
All right, excellent, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. When these videos drop, you get them right away to get the best numbers. All right, Mitch, as always, great to have you on the show. We'll talk with you again next week.
Thanks, everyone. We appreciate y'all.
Mitch here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here. Time for Big Al McMordie. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Rim. Got some NBA here from Big Al. Big Al, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, Tony?
Doing awesome. All right, here we go tonight. Game 2 on TNT has the Nuggets hosting the T-Wolves. Nuggets 8.5, total 222.
Yeah, Denver blew out Minnesota in Game 1 by 29 points, 109-80. Not surprisingly, I'm going to look at the underdog here. Underdogs of 7 or more points are now 46-29 ATS in Game 2 if they scored less than 90 points in the Game 1 loss. That bodes well for the Timberwolves. Likewise, teams off blowout losses in Game 1 by 22 or more points, they tend to do well in Game 2. They've gone 40-31 ATS. And notwithstanding Denver's big win in that Game 1, it must be noted that the road team in this Denver-Minnesota series is now 47-15 with a push ATS. The last 63 meetings, including 15-0, the last 15 and 26-3 ATS, the last 29 off a straight-up loss. So that really hammers the point home that I think this is a great spot for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Finally, Denver, before this game, or before the Game 1, they ended the regular season with a 109-95 victory against Sacramento. So that's now back-to-back blowout wins by the Nuggets. But they're 1-18-1 ATS off back-to-back Suats wins by 11 or more points. I can't trust this Nuggets team off that kind of those numbers. I'm going to fade them.
All right, Big Al says faith in Nuggets here. T-Wolves plus 8.5 here against the Nuggets. And, there was a little concern here about Jokic. He does show up on the injury report with some sort of wrist issue, but he's kind of downplayed it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's playoff time, I think all these guys are going to play that are injured, whether it's, all these guys are going to play. They're
going to play, no doubt about that. All right, Big Al on T-Wolves plus 8.5 here against the Nuggets. This one has a start time, 10 Eastern time over on TNT. All right, Big Al, let's take over at Pick Dogs Room tonight's action. 4 on the board here from the NHL playoffs, 3 on the board NBA, handful from Major League Baseball in prime time. What do you have going on over at the site?
Well, we swept the board yesterday, had 2 nice winners in the NBA on Phoenix and Cleveland. I've got 2 more NBA plays today. I'll have hockey tomorrow. I've already posted 2 NBA plays for upcoming action, so there's 4 NBA plays posted, 3 sides and 1 total. And as I mentioned, I'll have some hockey up for sale tomorrow. There was 1 hockey play today, but it only went to subscribers. And Yeah, it's a good time of year. I'll have a baseball play tomorrow as well.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, he's got his plays up here right now. NBA rocking chair route up on the board, as well as a lot of NBA action as well. You see a lot up there. So get on board. Instead of buying the plays individually, Big Al has a long-term pass. You can get that 1 month all sports pass. Get all of Big Al's premium plays here for 30 days. He'll cover the first 2 rounds of the NBA and NHL playoffs, as well as baseball here for 30 days. Pick is the promo code. You'll save 15% off at checkout. You can also add a second copper with that 2-for-1 copper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Big Al, as always.
And the Kentucky Derby, and I'll have the Kentucky Derby in a couple of weeks as well.
Kentucky Derby in a couple of weeks as well, part of that 1 month all sports pass. All right, Big Al, have yourself a great afternoon. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much, Tony.
Yeah, Big Al McMordie here on the drive to just get you caught up on some of the baseball here. 5-3 now, bases loaded here for Seattle down to against Milwaukee. So we'll keep an eye on that with 1 out here. Seattle trying to close it out. The Milwaukee trying to close it out, but Seattle rallying here in the bottom of the 9th inning. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through. Up next is Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Got some NBA coverage here from Wayne. I think we're ready to roll here with Wayne Scott. Let's see. Here we go, Wayne Scott. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family?
What's going on, Wayne? All right, here we go tonight. 9 Eastern time. NBA TV has the Bucks to host the Heat. Milwaukee laying 8, total 220.
Yes, sir. We had a good one last time where I was on the Heat. They had there was 9-point favorites, depending on where you got them at. 8-point favorites. And they shocked the world, man. They came out and they played good. And we've seen the Heat come out and do that a couple times during the season. And they come out and they put everything together and they actually shoot the 3 well and combine that with good defense. But I just think they don't do it tonight, and they revert back to their old form in that game where they won. Giannis went down early, and that was kind of seemed like a momentum killer for the Bucks. And Miami ended up shooting 60% from 2-point and 60% from 3 as well. And on the season, normally Miami shoots 27 from the 3, and they're 27th also from field goal. So I believe they revert back down to these ways. They also had a good game from their bench. Their bench isn't bad, but they're not reliable. So I don't expect them to come out and play the same way. And we just seeing that Tyler Hero's out. He had 12 points last game. That is some decent scoring, and a guy that can really spread the floor for them that they'll be missing. And it's just all boils down to after Miami wins, they're 3rd worst ATS, 13, 29, and 3. And I just see them reverting back to their ways. This isn't the same big game Jimmy Butler I've been seeing. And I think it's just him and Bam out there, to be honest with you. I think they get out-rebounded. I think the better bench shows tonight in the Bucks, and I think the Bucks come out here and smash them up tonight.
All right.
The Bucks minus the 8 now. It's open up at 6.
Yeah, we saw some line movement here because the news in the afternoon now. Giannis now upgraded to questionable here in this one. And, of course, that lower back contusions there with Giannis. So that's everyone out here on Pins Needles seeing what happens here for Giannis.
Yes, sir. I would like for Giannis to play, but and I do believe he does play. But even if he doesn't play, man, I love the Bucks in this spot, man. I do not think they lose this one at home, and I do not think that he can keep it close. I just strictly don't think that they come out shooting 60% both ways. This Bucks team, they're 8th in 3-point defense and 2nd in field goal defense. And I think they revert back to more so that style of play and come out ready to get this win at home and cover here tonight. All
right, Wayne here on Bucks, lay the 8 against the Heat. This one have a start time here, 9 Eastern time over on NBA TV. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we have 3 from the NBA, 4 game 2s from the NHL, a handful from Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Over at Pick Dogs tonight, I have 2 NBA and 1 MLB, but I only have my best bet in the NBA out for sale. My other NBA game will be for the long term, so I always look to get on there long term. But if you like to know my best bet in the NBA today, you can get on there and grab it. It's my Make It Take It NBA Player today. My MLB was also for long term, so check out long term. That was the Padres that just finished off, and I believe they did pull out the win.
Yep.
All right,
They
just
did.
making sure 'cause I know it was in the ninth. That was in the ninth inning. So yeah, check me out, and let's continue to keep rolling.
That's right. Get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dogs, a premium. Of course, the long-term passes will serve you well. That 1 month pass will get you all of Wayne's premium plays for 30 days. That will get you the first 2 rounds of the NBA and NHL playoffs, as well as all this baseball here for 30 days. Remember that Pick is the promo code. You'll save 15% off at checkout. You can also add a second capper with that 2-point cap promotion. Even greater value there. All right. Wayne, it's always great having you show. To that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, and I'll be out tomorrow. And stay tuned. I'm gonna have a boxing bet that'll be out there by the night too from a big boxing card this weekend. So, yeah, y'all stay tuned for that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here, guys. If you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, we have El Ninos, so catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. I think we've got El ready to roll here. El Ninos set to roll here. El Ninos. There we go with El. I think we're set to roll. El Ninos, we're ready to roll over on the Skype world. El, what's happening?
Going on pretty good. How are you doing, Tony?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight at 10 Eastern Time. ESPN has a game 2 of this series. They have a big comeback here by the Kings in game 1. Oilers here to host the Kings. Oilers minus 235, total 6.5.
Yeah, call this one a homer pick, if you will. But hey, not backing them to pull the upset off again, although I wouldn't be shocked to see that happen. But I just think there's too much value on this puck line to pass up here with the line going up a little bit, money coming in on the Oilers. I just think the Oilers are just overpriced a little bit. Sure, they may be the more talented team. They're at home, but again, we're asking them to lay a big price here, and I just don't think I'm ready to do that. They were playing really well before that loss in their last matchup, but again, the Kings have had a pretty good season themselves, and despite the talent gap, I think this team, who does have some talent of their own, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's a bunch of nobodies here, but they've been playing well together as a team, and I think they come here and give the Oilers another good game and at least keep it close. Definitely wouldn't be shocked to see this one go to overtime again either. And as soon as that happens in hockey and you got the plus 1.5, you already know you're cashing, so you just sit back and enjoy the rest of the game. So going Kings plus 1.5 here.
All right, breaking news here. Breaking news on my line service. John Morant downgraded to expected to miss. So breaking news right now. Morant expected to miss. That is, my line service just gave me a triple flash here on that. So keep an eye there.
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that line was right now. Lakers sitting at -1 with the news. All right, Al. Yeah, this Kings team, boy, down 3-1 in that third period. Rallied for that comeback. Of course, Edmund took that penalty, and of course, a beautiful power play here for the Kings in that overtime to get the win.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to double down here. Don't want to give too much away. Never mind. Yeah, you were saying it, Tony?
No, about the Kings comeback. They'll be down by that 3-1 score, and of course that late goal in the closing seconds, and of course that power play was a masterful goal there by the Kings in the power play.
Yeah, that was quite the comeback indeed, and I don't know if the Oilers. I mean, again, I wouldn't be shocked to see them jump out to another big, I wouldn't say big, but another lead here, and. But again, I wouldn't just count these Kings out like that, and I just think this price is a little. I mean, they opened pretty much same line in game 1, and I guess the books are thinking the Oilers come back and then get the job done this time around. I mean, they definitely don't want to go down 0-2 at home. That's for sure. That wouldn't be good. But so expect a huge effort out the Oilers. But I think we get a more competitive game than this line suggests for sure.
All right, we got Ninos here is going to be taken here. The Kings on the puck line take the goal and a half, -135 here against the Oilers. That's the play here from El Ninos. He likes to take the goal and a half in this one, and it will have a start time here of 10 Eastern time. All right, El Ninos, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for today's action. Of course, we've got plays tonight here on the board here from the NBA. 2 on the board from the NBA. We have 4 on the board here from the NHL, 3 NBA, handful from Major League Baseball. Come off a monster day yesterday. We see the results for 2023 in baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, 6-1 yesterday in the MLB, 3-1 today in the MLB. But no more baseball today. I still got a 3-pack in the NBA though, and my best bet in the NHL. If you want to get those separately, or grab yourself a long-term 2-for-1 capper special and get all the plays that way.
That's right, guys. Got on board with El Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results up there from El from yesterday. And, of course, for baseball, showing good positive results. So get on board with El Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. Remember, the long-term passes will serve you well this time of the year. And, of course, he's got his Wednesday 3-pack up there for you. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save 15% off. All right, El Ninos, as always, great having you on the show. Oh, let's get the right El Ninos up here. All right, have yourself a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
Now, you know, it's here on the drive, too. Let's continue on. Guys, if you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Up next is Rod Zawacky. I don't think he liked that segment too much with El Ninos. Bring him in right now. Rod, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much, Tony. I wasn't paying attention. I was way over there in the other room.
All right, very good. All right.
Nothing can faze me. I ain't worried. Go ahead. Take the Kings. See what happens.
All right. There you go from Rod Zawacky. All right. Here we go tonight. This line took a while to get up. They got it up around about 10 a.m. Eastern. Nationals here to host the Orioles. Orioles minus 141, total 8.5.
Yeah, you look at this one, and you see who's going to get the start. It was TBD for most of the time. That's why probably the line came out late. And you got Mackenzie Gore going to get the start for the Nationals. You know what? He's been a serviceable pitcher, not too bad. 2-0 to start the season with a 3 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. 1-0 decision there, but for me, he likes to walk the guys. 10 walks in 3 games. That's a little over 3 walks a game. A little too many walks there that can get you in trouble. You walk a couple guys on the long ball. Next thing you know, it's 3-0. And getting the start in this one for the Orioles going to be Kyle Bradish going to get the start here for the Orioles back off the injury. What did he go? He pitched 28 pitches to kick off the year, and then he took a comebacker right off the foot and threw him right on the IR. And he had a pretty good season last season. I expect good things from him this season. He threw 111 strikeouts last year, and so I think he has an even better season than what he did last year in this one. And for me, this Washington Nationals team, they don't hit righties very well, hitting only 217 against right-handed pitchers this season. When you look at the Orioles, they love to hit left-handed pitching, hitting 270 off of left-handed pitching. And the Orioles look 7-2 in their last 9 interleague road games. They're also 6-1 in their last 7 interleague road games versus a left-handed starter. And the Nationals only 2-8 at home this season. And you know what? You look at home underdogs this season, definitely not fared so well. It's been the road favorites, which is surprising. As I said, I think I was talking with you about this, Tony, earlier before that. Usually road dogs do well early in the MLB, not this season. Road favorites are coming in at 67 and 36. You'd be up $100 unit better. Be up 1,772 units just betting road favorites this season. Been nuts, crazy. Let's take the Baltimore Orioles here to snag another win over these Nationals.
Yeah, we got the Orioles here minus 141 here against the Nationals. Against left-handed starters, the Orioles have had some pretty good success, not only hitting the baseball on base percentage, but averaging 6.5 runs here against lefty starters this year.
Yeah, definitely right. Left-handed starters, they've definitely feasted on hitting the ball, and I expect them to feast here as well. And one guy who's definitely been feasting with 6 home runs already this season has been Ryan Mountcastle, and at 4 times our money, I'm in. I'm going to put a little bit on Ryan Mountcastle to knock one out of the park here in this one tonight, especially at 4 times my money. I'm definitely in on that one. I think Ryan Mountcastle knock one out of the park for us as well as the Orioles beating up the Nationals.
Knock one out, says all right, Orioles minus 141 against the Nationals. This one will have a start time here of 7 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, we do have on the board 3 here from the NBA, 4 on the ice, 4 game 2s in the Stanley Cup playoffs, a handful here from Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium, I got my $19 NHL sniper play going. We hit another one with the New York Rangers yesterday. Got one I absolutely love today. 7-2 in my last 9. Scoop that up, $19. My top play in the NHL. I've also got my 10-star NBA executive info play. My top ready to play in tonight's NBA action. Scoop that up, or you can grab my NHL hat trick, where you get 3 plays I've got in tonight's NHL action. That include my NHL sniper play, or if you're just looking for all NHL, scoop up my rest of the season NHL pass. Use the promo code PICK and save 50% off that purchase there. Or another deal, use that 2-for-1 capper deal. Definitely one of the best deals we got going over at Big Dogs Premium. As I always say, 2 heads are always better than 1. So definitely jump on over. Let's make some money. I'm excited tonight. It's going to be a good night of action. It was a good game of day games. Won a little bit of money there. Definitely going to have a great night. I'm excited.
That's right, guys. Got a board with Rod Zawacky. Gave you that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off on those long-term passes. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on the show. We can catch you on the mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern time with the morning show with Mitch and Chris. And, of course, those Puck Dog video series right now, the NHL picks here from these playoffs.
Yeah, definitely check those out. Me and Chris love doing those videos. Check out the Puck Dogs videos. You always got a nice parlay, and we got coverage on all of the NHL action. So like, subscribe, where you get notified when tomorrow's action gets released. This will be released. We got a nice parlay going in tomorrow's games as well. So we appreciate everybody. Have yourself a good night. Enjoy your bets, and we'll see everybody else tomorrow morning with me, Mitch and Chris. And I hope I'm not a little bit surly tomorrow morning.
That's right. Hope they don't too surly, because boy, you're going to get hammered. They got to come through for those Oilers.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they got going down 0-2 to LA. That's not what we want to see here.
No, but I mean, I've seen the Kings at home too, so I wouldn't write them off. Trust me.
Yeah,
I have
right.
my doubts. I've told you, I have my doubts on this team, on this Kings team. All right, Rod, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Steak Friday.
Steak Friday. Yeah, you too, Tony. Have yourself a good night. We'll see you on Friday.
You got it. Rod Zawacky here on the Drive Thru. But you can catch him in the mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern time with that morning show, and of course the Puck Dogs video series. Let's continue on here on the show. We got some hockey from Dana Lane. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's bring Dana in right now. I think we're ready to roll here. What's the Vegas team going down? Dana, what's happening?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Listen,
listen, Tony, I got to tell you, there is always one series where you look at the series number beforehand and kind of scratch your head a little bit. And with Vegas only being a $1.60 favorite in this series against Winnipeg, it was clear to me that this was a series that everybody thought was going to be the first and foremost as far as potentially being an upset. And I've said it for months and months, Tony. I mean, this Vegas team has gotten by. I guess that's where I end the sentence. They've gotten by. And now, all of a sudden, Laurent Brossoit, who wasn't good enough to, get the majority of the games in the regular season, and of course played in a ton of games in the American Hockey League, and all of a sudden he's their go-to guy. And I just, I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and I said, hey, do you expect Brossoit to be skating around the ice with the Stanley Cup above his head? I can't picture that, and I think that's a real problem. And on top of that too, I mean, if I'm the team going into the postseason, I almost want to start on the road, because all you have to do is win one game, and you are in complete control of the series going back home, even if you lose the second game. So it's a good spot for a lot of teams. The Dogs won last night.
Yeah.
It's a good spot for everybody, and it really just sets up for a very entertaining NHL postseason.
It sure does. Speaking of entertaining for our fans out east, we hope we don't give you too many overtime, especially with these late games. It's late West Coast games, as we had in Game 1 here. The Stars and Wild get together again here on ESPN2. Stars 150, total 5.5.
Yeah, all the betting patterns, of course, are with the teams that lost the first game. We see money coming in on Dallas. This opened up at minus $1.45. It's up to about $1.55 in most spots. And really the big question that's coming out of this game is whether or not Joe Pavelski is going to make the start. I mean, he's a huge part of their top line in Dallas, and I think I'm surprised that betting hasn't been a little bit more even with him potentially out of the lineup. He didn't participate in morning skate this morning. He was not part of team meetings. He was excused by Pete DeBoer for team meetings. So he hasn't been part of the team at all. But that doesn't mean anything in the NHL, where they're very secretive about who's in and who is out. If he's on the ice tonight, I wouldn't be surprised. If he's out for the next 6 games, I wouldn't be surprised. And if you remember, speaking of 6 games, the last time this happened to Pavelski in the postseason was against the Vegas Golden Knights years ago, when Cody Eakin allegedly hit him and put him in concussion protocol, and he was out 6 games. It was a clean hit. That's why I said allegedly, and that was a whole debacle that year. But he was out 6 games for that Colorado series, didn't return until Game 7. So we'll see. Now, why is this not a big problem tonight? Well, I think you're going to see Pete DeBoer shorten up his bench anyway. I think his top six are going to get the majority of the playing time tonight, unless they get out to a 2-goal lead, we'll say. This is a must-win for Dallas, and I think if you put Tyler Seguin, which I anticipate Seguin being on that second line. I don't know if you're putting Dadonov on that second line, if you're going to get the same impact. But Seguin on that second line will give them still a strong top 6, and I think that's going to be good enough to win in an arena where they've absolutely dominated the Wild over time. Now, one thing too, Tony, when teams get those big wins throughout history, they come back, especially with a team like the Wild, who's been dominated by Dallas at United Airlines Arena. This, to me, is telling me that this Wild team might have their belly full a little bit. They're feeling real good about themselves. I think you're going to see the best effort out of the Dallas Stars tonight. And if you don't, well, I mean, that's a tough road to go back to Minnesota for the next 2 and expect to win the series.
All right, there you go on the data here. Stars minus 150 here against the Wild. We know the Stars can defend. Again, they gave up 2 goals in regulation, right? Like they've done, that trend for them, giving up 2 goals or fewer, continued there, because remember, this was an overtime loss. But again, the question is, can they get these goals in?
Yeah, in defense too, I didn't think they were as good defensively. I think you'll see guys like Colin Miller get a few less minutes tonight. I didn't think that. I thought the first 2 pairing were fine. They're usually fine, but that third pairing to me wasn't great, and that was kind of led by Colin Miller, who I've seen play a ton, and as he was with the Bruins and he was with Vegas, 2 teams that I pay attention to. But tonight, at least, I think DeBoer shortens up that bench. I don't think Colin Miller's getting 25 minutes of ice time tonight. Maybe. Might surprise me. I didn't think he was very good in Game 1. I think everything is going to get shortened up a little bit, and I think it's time for the Stars to shine, both in name and as the Stars, as in your superstars on your team, and that means that they need to get big performances out of like Jamie Benn. If Jamie Benn had an assist in the last game, he had 4 shots on net. That's just not going to cut it. I mean, I said the same thing about Jack Eichel here in Vegas. You pay the guy $10 billion and he gets 2 shots on goal. Not going to cut it.
Yep, there we go. Dana here, Stars minus 150 against the Wild. This one will have a start time here, 9:30 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. So great results over the last 30 days. 819 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dogs. Every play is documented, recorded for you to go back there and verify. So check it out over at Dana's handicapper page. 4 on the ice tonight, 3 on the hardwood in the playoff action. We have a handful of baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Just 1 game left because, of course, the schedule was heavy towards the afternoon, but just 1 game left. Yankees and the Angels, that are the first pitch here in a few minutes. Sorry about that. I tried to get some later games, but that is the last game that's remaining tonight. And of course, I want to encourage everybody to get involved in my season-long pass. I appreciate everybody that has bought the week pass and the 30-day pass, but that season-long pass, you're getting it for less than $100 a month. So that's nothing to sneeze at. That is everybody that's buying these individual plays. I appreciate that. Just go ahead and buy the season pass, and you just sit back all season long and get every single selection that I put out every single day.
That's right, guys. Got to go with that D-line over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here for the last 3 days. Dana has some season passes up there. Take your pick here. Major League Baseball on the Major League Pass. As he said, very good value. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. I said about $100 a month there. We got a lot of baseball up until World Series should end around November 1st. So you do the math there. There's a lot of almost 6.5 months plus of baseball. So good time to get on board. Pick is the promo code. You'll save 15% off. Right, Dana, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Hopefully it ends in Pittsburgh, right, Tony?
Yes, sir. Gotta love what you're saying. I thought it was trouble when Cruz went down. When your shortstop went down, I felt bad.
Well, I mean, just keep on winning, and the key really is 9 straight quality starts from Pirates starters now without JT Brubaker. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought? And then sometimes strange things happen, and I know it's April, and I know 4 years ago they got off to a starter over 500 in April. I get all that, but when you're a Pirates fan, man, you hang on to every little ounce of success that you can get.
There you go. From Dana Lane. All right, Dan, have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
You too, Tony. Have a great night. Good luck, everyone.
Got Dan Lane here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you missed a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Let's continue on some NBA here from Millz. Catch him over at Pick.Stream. Hope you're catching his video series now over at Pick Dogs. We'll go over the Skype world here with Millz. I think we're ready to roll here with Millz here on the drive-thru. Millz, what's happening?
How's it going, Tony? What's up, all the Pick Dogs in the chat?
It's going great. All right, here we go tonight. TNT has Nuggets and T-Wolves here. Nuggets 8.5, total 222.
Yeah, man, this game right here, I don't look at it to be the same game as game one was. It was just a lot of low scoring out there on both teams. Let's speak about Denver Nuggets for a little bit. On there, leading score was Jamal Murray dropping 24 points. Second behind that, I think it was Michael Porter Jr. with 18. Your boy Jokic only had 13 points. All around low scoring, even for the Denver Nuggets, a team who averages 115 points on the year. On the other end, though, this is even badder and worse. We're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they ended the game with like 89 points. I haven't seen a game in that low since it was like those old vintage game of like John Starks on the Knicks and Reggie Miller on the Pacers, back in those days, So it was just an all overall bad game from them. I think Anthony Edwards was their leading scorer with 18 points. Karl Anthony Towns only had 11 points. And I think he forgot how to shoot and how to ask for the ball in the whole second half. Besides that, nobody had a good game. Conley had about 8 or 9 points in that game as well, and Rudy Gobert only had about 10. So they average 115.8 points on the year, too, as well. So the way I'm going to be looking at this game is over. It's too low not to go. It's at 222. I'm looking for this little game to go over on here. Denver Nuggets has 4 players that average double-double. Double digits on the year. So I'm going to go ahead and taking the over in this game, Tony.
All right, we got Millz here, like Nuggets and T-Wolves over total here up to 22. And, of course, why not? You're in Denver, in the Mile High City. And, of course, you do have a Minnesota team that when they do their best, they run the basketball, right? They got Karl Anthony Towns out there. I know they're without McDaniels and Reed, but Edwards is out there, Conley at point guard. And Town, of course, Gobert is a question mark. Of course, there's still that little question there on Jokic. But, again, it looks like he's going to play. He just got to blow off that wrist.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's kind of one of those teams. It's a run-and-gun team. And it's something about the Minnesota Timberwolves, too. I don't know what it is, but they encourage other teams to just shoot a lot of threes, So it's one of those things to where I think the score is just a little bit too low not to go. And just looking at both teams' averages, they both average 115 points. So, I mean, if they just pretty much do what they did all year, this game should definitely go over in my eyes.
All right, we got Millz here. Nuggets T was over 222. This one have a start time here of 10 Eastern time. All right, Millz, let's take a look over at Pick.Stream for tonight's action. Of course, tonight, what we got 4 on the board from the ice. We got 3 NBA playoff games, handful from Major League Baseball. Good results in the NBA for this year. What do you have going on over at Pick.Dogs Premium?
I got 2 plays up there to get you paid, both in the NBA, too. One is going to be my NBA all-net play. My other is going to be my NBA winners-only play. It's not Thursday, so I didn't put a 3-pack for you for my list with my UFC packs and picks in there as well. But so go ahead and get your feet wet today with my 2 NBA plays. I also got some player props in there, too, to get you some more money as well.
NBL net from Millz. Get on board. That's his $19 credit guarantee play up there. Must turn a profit. And the amount you purchase is credit back to your account for site credits. That is credit guarantee. Hey, but here we are on a Wednesday. Get that 7-day pass, right? That'll get you paid 7 days of pleasure from Millz. His NBA, his Major League Baseball for 7 days. And of course, don't forget the UFC is part of that weekend, right? When you get that 7 days, weekend coverage from MMA from the UFC. So get on board with Millz. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. You can add a second capper with that 2-point cap promotion. Even greater value there, right? Millz, as always, great having your show. To you, that's success. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. But of course, tomorrow after the drive-thru, it's you and Brad, right, with your show?
Yeah, we'll be doing the show Thursday right after the drive-thru. So yeah, definitely right after the drive-thru show. Everybody, stay tuned. We'll be going over the UFC card, Curtis Blaze versus Sergey Pavlovich. It's gonna be a great card. No fights canceled as well. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that.
All right, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications so when Millz is live with Brad, you get the plays in real time to get the best numbers. All right, Millz, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, Tony. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Millz Young here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. And we'll go ahead and get my play for you before we get to the recap. All right, we're going to get in Major League Baseball here for tonight. Top of the hour action here. Yes, we're going to have the Yankees in action tonight here against the LA Angels. And we'll get the game up for you right now here. Angels here, our dogs here. Yankees minus 128. Total sits here at 9. We'll be here on the Yankees here at minus 128 here against the Angels. Yeah, their prospect was on the hill. Got a little roughed up here in his last start. But I do believe he has the right to improve. He had that rough start there against the Minnesota Twins, if I recall. Yep, it was Griffin. Now it was Brito on the hill. Johnny Brito. 3 starts on the campaign. ERA is a little high because when you go a third of an inning, you get roughed up for 7. It's going to be bad. But he had 2 good starts prior to that. He is fanning about 17.5%. Ground balls 48%. Less than a home run per 9 innings. Again, 2 great starts, 1 bad one, but he's backed by a really good bullpen, and the Angels really struggle hitting righties. So we'll be on this. We'll be here on the Yankees here at minus the 128. Also, Griffin Canning is a starter for the Angels, coming back from a back injury last year. We'll see how he rolls tonight, but we'll be back in this Yankees lineup here, minus 128 here against the Angels. Guys, check out Pick Dog Stream. I got a 3-pack up there on the board right now. 2 from the NBA, 1 from baseball. Our $19 premium hit today, best bet hit today in the afternoon with the Rangers. But get on board here with my 3-pack tonight and use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion on my long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Even greater value there. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's get to the recap for tonight. Chris starts off with Astros Blue Jays over 9. Mitch was on the Lakers at a pick-em. Now, actually, this line has moved. I'm still seeing about Lakers here. 1 here now against the Grizzlies. John Morant out. If you didn't get the news, he will not play tonight. He's out for Memphis. Big on McMordie. Timberwolves plus 8.5 against Nuggets. Wayne on the Bucks laying 8 against the Heat. El Ninos. LA Kings puck line. Take the goal and a half. Minus 135 against the Oilers. Rod on the Orioles. Minus 141 against the Nationals. Dana on the Stars. Minus 150 against the Wild. Millz. Nuggets T was over 222. I'll be on the Yankees. Minus 128 against the Angels. The one I like the most. The game I like the most tonight. I will say I like that Chris's Astros Blue Jays over the total of 9 runs. Barrios on the road is not doing well, and the starter here for the Houston Astros, I believe it's Luis Garcia tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Luis Garcia. Yeah, he's had a rough one going as well, so that'll be the one there, guys. Let's see if we can get you through the Major League Baseball card here really quickly. We can clean up some of these finals that we were going over earlier today. We got Rays here 8-0 over against the Reds. Giants in extra innings with that 5-2 win in 11 innings. Guardians 3-2 against the Tigers. They've had a kind of a rough spell. Cardinals big win today, 14-5 against D-backs. Rangers, they get the money, 12-3 against the Royals. We also had the Phillies 5-2 against the White Sox. Mets with that got to the Dodgers bullpen, 5-3. It does stay under though, 5-3 Mets against the Dodgers. Pirates rock the Rockies 14-3. Gomber give up 9 earned runs in 2 innings. Cubs get it done again, cover the run line with ease, 12-2. Steal another solid performance, but they really got to that Athletics bullpen. It was 2-2. Headed to the 6th, I believe, right? So 6, 7, 8, in 3 innings, the Cubs pushed across 10 runs on that Athletics bullpen. That Athletics bullpen absolutely horrible this season. I mean, giving up 10 runs. It was 2-2 right when they took the kid out. after 5. Yeah, oh boy, that was an ugly performance here by that Athletics bullpen. Brewers, boy, Bush, what a clutch close that was. Comes in, bases loaded, 1 out. Mariners down 2, and he gets them out, man. He gets the save. 5-3. Milwaukee beats the Mariners with a clutch save there by Bush, coming in a very high leverage situation. Padres hold on. Hader on the hill, 1-0. So where's the offense? They get it done against the Braves. Warren, not too bad. He's had his struggles on the road. 1-0. Padres get it done. Of course, this is the game we just talked about. We'll be starting in just a few minutes. Orioles and Nationals will start again. Still 141 there. And of course, Twins minus 138 here with Ryan on the hill against the Red Sox. Kluber there for the Red Sox. And of course, the game that we talked about earlier, Blue Jays minus 109 against the Astros. Of course, total there sits at 8.5. And of course, that's tomorrow's action there. We don't have any lines yet for tomorrow's games, but there you go with our Major League rundown here, you guys, here from today's show. All right, that's going to do it here for today's show. Guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. We'll get live plays for you here for the games in prime time on Thursday. Remember, it always gets started every single day, 10 a.m. each time with the morning show. We got Rod, we got Chris, we got Mitch. Of course, Mitch is 7 picks in 5 minutes. His betting tools show. He's got his Nerfies up there for you as well. Lots of content on the channel. The Puck Dogs video series, the NHL picks here from Chris and Rod Zawacky. Ron Romanelli with his breakdown from Major League Baseball. Also, NBA breakdown here from Jay. He's always live at 4 p.m. each time with his NBA Jam session. Also, the morning drop from the NBA. You catch him there as well. We got David Racy with his short series. We also have Jovan when he's back with the parlay video. New video series here from Millz with his props. We'll also have an MMA series from Millz as well. And, of course, Mike Davis with his prize pick segment as well. So lots of content here on the channel, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. So when we're live with you. So you guys get the best numbers and join us here in the chat room. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat today. I'm looking at here at Yankees on YouTube. that sounds like an interesting YouTube channel there. Gitang, Tony Safe Hands in there as well. Krisha Mandel, shout out to you there. Rod is in there. Ramon is in there as well. So thanks, shout out to everybody there. Landon 86 up there. Sports Spins with another good contribution there. Of course, we're on social media. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Rick, as well as to Mims up there in the chat room. And Preston Hart. Sorry, that's going to do it for our show. Let's bring in the crew.